Good morning, children. So let's learn about elements, compounds, and mixtures of lesson number 14. In our last video, we saw the methods of separation. One is distillation method. Also, we learn about separation method by using separating funnel. Okay. So we can separate two miscible liquids to immiscible liquids by using separating funnel and by using distillation method. Okay, let's learn about new method, that is method of centrifugation. What is mean by centrifugation? So it is a mechanical process which involves the use of centrifugal force to separate particles from a solution according to their size, shape, density, medium, viscosity, etc. Okay. The larger the size and the larger the density of particles, the faster they separate from the mixture. Okay. So centrifugation एक method है that separates the molecules having different densities by spinning them into solution around an axis. Okay. So best example of centrifugation is when you separate the butter from milk. जैसे कि मिल्क में से हम लोग सेपरेटर इज अ सेंट्रीफ्यूगल डिवाइस दैट सेपरेट्स मिल्क इनटू क्रीम एंड स्कीम्ड मिल्क is a suspension of tiny droplets of oily cream. जैसे कि मिल्क में से हम लोग क्रीम ऊपर निकल आता है. So the process of centrifugation is to separate cream from milk. The milk is put in a closed container in a big centrifuge machine and it rotates. Okay, it rotates the which mechanism? The principle of centrifugation technique is to separate the particles suspended in liquid medium under the influence of centrifugal field. Okay, these are placed either in tubes or bottles in a rotor in the centrifuge machine is there, so that separates the substance. So here see in this method, turbid water, ink, milk, buttermilk, blood are mixtures of liquid and insoluble solids are there. When turbid water is kept under undisturbed for a while, the soil particles slowly settles down at the bottom. The particles of milk or ink, however, do not settle even on being left undisturbed. This is because of the particles of the solid in such a mixtures being very tiny and light and remain evenly distributed in the liquid. These particles cannot be separated from the liquid even by methods like filtration and or settling method. Okay. So however you will separate such a solid particles from a liquid, means in the laboratory a centrifuge machine is used to separate solids from a mixture of a liquid and solid. Okay, it is a machine. This is a laboratory method. It consists of a disc which rotates like a fan at a great speed. जैसे वो move होती है. There is a provision to attach the test tube at the rim of disc. When the tubes attached to the disc rotates at high speed, a force is generated which pushes the particles away from the center. As a result, the solid particles in the bottom in the mixture of the test tube collected at the bottom of the tube and thereby separated from the liquid. Okay, see here, this is the centrifuge machine is there, electrical centrifuge, then manual centrifuge, हाथ से घुमाते हैं, यहाँ पे टेस्ट ट्यूब लगाई है, ये है घुमाने के लिए रॉड, इसको गोल गोल घुमा के फिराते हैं. Then next is the centrifuge, away from the center, it moves and it separates the things. Okay, so this is centrifugal machine. Then methods of chromatography. Another is the method that is chromatography method. So see, what is chromatography? Chromatography means if two or more substances are dissolved, if two or more substances are dissolved in a small proportions in a same solution, these substances are separated from each other by means of chromatography. What happens in chromatography? When two or more substances dissolve in a small proportion in some solution, so these substances are separated from each other by means of chromatography. This method is used in pharmaceutical science, factories, and scientific laboratories. It's a laboratory method for detecting new ingredients and for identifying and separating components of a mixture. How? See the procedure. So the procedure: take some water in a beaker, take a rectangular piece of filter paper, put one drop, one spot of blue ink on it, about 2 centimeters away from the edge. Keep this paper upright in the water in the beaker. Place a lid on a beaker. Then after some time, the spot of the ink is seen to have risen and collected at a particular height in the filter paper. If there are two or more constituents of different colors in the ink, they will be seen to have risen to different heights due to their different colors and thus appear distinct from each other. This experiment can be done using a chalk stick instead of filter paper. In this method, the separation called chromatography, two properties of substances are used. These are the solubility of the substance in the solvent and that moves up and ability of the substance to stick to the stationary filter paper. These properties are mutually opposite and different for the different substances. As a result, all the components of mixtures do not rise all the way to the upper end of the filter paper but remain behind at different heights. Okay. So chromatography can be used in an analytical tool, feeding its output in a detector that reads the contents of the mixture. It can also be used as a purification tool, separating the components of a mixture for use and other experiment process. So, इसका example है. So a chemical reaction is used to cause each of the different size molecules in a liquid compound to separate own parts of a piece of paper. So example is, you can example है उसका chromatography or the color writing from the Greek. So it's a science of separating mixtures. Okay, you can do this experiment chromatography वाला. एक आपको filter paper, take spot of ink on the filter paper, put Okay, then different colors also you can take and arrange like this. वाटर में रखो इसको, एक लीड करो, you will see the separation of the color. Okay, so it's a chromatography technique. Two or more substances are dissolved in some proportions in the same solution. These substances are separated from each other by means of chromatography. Okay, so see here. And find out few more information about chromatography. Now, here we finish our topic. So what we learn in this lesson? Today, we learn in this lesson about the matter, types of matter, few properties of matter we learn, solid property, liquid and gaseous state of matter with their examples, and how the molecules are present in solid state of matter, liquid state of matter and gaseous state of matter. It's a very important. And also we learn about the substance and mixtures. Okay, substance means many kinds of matter found in nature are in a pure form. So they are substance. Various substances are gold, silver, diamond, water, chalk. These are the substances. And some are the mixtures also. Two or more substances when mixed in each other. So these are mixtures. Air is mixture, soil is mixture. Okay. Then we learn about the elements. Elements are also pure substance. Total number of elements is 118 in environment. 92 elements occur in nature, while the remaining are man-made elements. Hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, mercury, copper, silver, gold, iron. These are all elements. Then we learn about compounds. Compounds elements में हम लोगों ने पढ़ा कि metals and non-metals element. Also some metalloid, they shows the both the properties of elements, that is metallic element and non-metallic element. So these are metalloid. Then we learn about the compounds. Compounds means the substances formed by the chemical combination of two or more elements is known as compound. Water is a compound. So H2O means two molecules of hydrogen when combined with one molecule of oxygen. H2O is formed. It's a compound. Then salt is a compound. NaCl, one molecule of sodium and one molecule of chlorine, that is NaCl form. Then CO2, carbon dioxide is a compound. Then sugar is also compound. C6H12O6, it's a sugar. It is a compound. Okay. So this is about the compound. Then some methods of separation we learn in this lesson, that is the method of distillation. Distillation method, usually it's a laboratory method. It has used a funnel, then condenser to cool the gas. So you will get both the things in distillation method. Then separating funnel. This method is also used by using separating funnel. Here we can separate oil and water from a mixture by using separating funnel. So separating funnel can separate the different densities of a liquid. Okay, then method of centrifugation we use by using the centrifugal force. The things can be separated from buttermilk. Then method of chromatography. Here also two or more substances are dissolved in a small proportion in the same solution. These substances are separated from each other by means of chromatography. Okay, children. So here we finish the lesson. In our next video, we will solve exercise. So bye everyone.